Trying to clap with us right now. Watches the world go so.
We have the Sunrise Gathering here on Indigenous Peoples Day. It was founded by Bill Wapapa in 1975, and so we honor his children that are here today and his family members and his relatives. Crystal is making history in the Bay Area here. She's one of our food sovereignty warriors, and so we want to ask her to share a few words with us at this time. So thank you, Crystal Wapapa.
Thank you. It's such a joy to see everyone and everybody's faces. And I just want to give you just a little short history, how I became an Indigenous chef. And it's me coming here when I was at the age 7, 8 years old. As I would come here and we would leave here, we would go and have our foods. And I always wondered, why don't we have native restaurants? Why don't we see our foods? And 40 plus years, I know why. A lot has to do with historical trauma. A lot has to do with us taken from our lands and losing our language and our foods. And it took many, many years for me to realize how in trouble we were and how my family and everyone else's family had to fight historical trauma, which my family right now is still fighting. But we all have a job to do, and my job, as I was sitting on the ferry as a young child, wondering why we don't have any restaurant that represents our food. And I'm very proud to this day to speak that this path that I'm on, that Creator had put me on, and very, very proud. It didn't take just Wapipa's Kitchen. It took our community to have this, and we are opening up the first Native restaurant in Oakland. October 30th. It's something that's dear in my heart and means so much because it just doesn't represent me. It represents us as a community, as people, and our foods. And so the foods that you'll see, it's something that I grew up with, or something that represents this land, which is Ohlone's land, and something that is long, long overdue to have our foods on a plate and have our community to come and eat and enjoy these foods. So I just want to say thank you for everyone for believing in me all these years to cater to all you guys. And also I had brought one of my dear good friends, and as we promote food sovereignty, as we're in the front lines of representing our foods, I brought Elena Terry, and she's from Wisconsin. I want her to speak on behalf of the movement that we're on.
I said in my language, good morning, brothers and sisters.
Good morning. Good morning.
At this place was the language of my people, Hopi, spoken here. I am here as a humble person. My Hopi name is Lamawana. I speak for our religious leaders from the village of First Mesa in northeastern Arizona. 126 years ago, 19 of our Hopi members spent time here in prison in Alcatraz because they did not want assimilation, because they didn't want their children to be sent to boarding school, to be taught another language.
Right on.
That assimilation is still upon us today, brothers and sisters. We are survivors. We will survive this pandemic. What I hear from my elders saying, we've endured hundreds of years of another pandemic by the BIA forcing us to take away our religion. We must resist that. We call upon you today. My people migrated from South America. I see my brothers and sisters, my relatives, the Aztec people, the Mayans, all of you. We spent years in northeastern Arizona because of our religion and our culture. That is the way for all of us. It is our survival. That's how we will go on as Native people. You are my brothers and sisters. Our elders told me to tell you, you are their children. You will forever be. But please remember us as we endure the pressures to take away our language. I am a product of boarding school. I grew up on a reservation going to government school and punished for speaking my language. But that is a language to continue our religion. My grandson is here with me today. I wonder about him, of his future. My grandchildren, our grandchildren, their future as Native people. We need to stand together. Morning Star and others, I just got to meet you. Thank you for everything you're doing. But we must call on all of us today, like we called on the sun coming to our bodies today. So we are humble again to be here and not to be punished to be speaking our language like 19 of our members. I just wonder how they endured and was able to all 19 go back home. I learned today it's only because they humbled themselves and kept their language and they kept their religion to return them back home. Thank you for this time. You all have a safe trip back home. What I say to you in our Hopi language, there is no word for goodbye. Only until I see you again, either it's in this world or the next world. Thank you.